does anyone know what this particular flower plant is? It probably reminds you of something if you just look at, looks like a daisy. This is actually called oxeye daisy or false sunflower. It's in the sunflower family, and it's a nice place to start because the sunflower family, which is also called the composite family, they have a lot of different prairie. They're probably the most diverse plant family in the prairie. And one of the things that's really interesting about the composites is they actually have two different types of flowers. You guys can move on up here. I don't want you to feel like you have to be way back there.
Ooh, yeah, there you go.
Very scratchy leaves and typically really hairy stems also. But if you look at the flower itself, there's two different types of flowers. There's actually the ray flowers, which are the ones on the outside that looks like rays of sun. And then in the inside, these are called disc flowers. And if you look really, really closely, if we had a microscope, each one of these little florets in here is actually its own flower with complete reproductive parts. The ray petals are actually sterile. They don't have the reproductive parts. But that's pretty much typical of all the plants in the composite family. And we'll see a lot of examples of those today. Even goldenrod, echinacea, purple cone flower, those are all composites, and they all have that very distinct, the ray flowers and then the disc flowers in the middle. And we also have a lot of goldenrod here, which is just getting ready to bloom. Is anyone familiar with goldenrod or heard stories or rumors about goldenrod? That's the one that we hear of a lot. Goldenrod's actually one of those plants that's kind of gotten a bad rep. Just like we say a lot of our animals have gotten bad reputations, some of our plants have too. Goldenrod for years has been blamed for allergies, but goldenrod actually belongs to the grass family. And one of the distinctions of grasses as opposed to forbs or flowering plants is that the grasses are typically going to be wind pollinated. So goldenrod is actually, did I just say it was in the grass family? Goldenrod's actually in the composite or the daisy family, which are typically insect pollinated. So it's pretty much impossible to be allergic to goldenrod. However, what happens is goldenrod blooms at the same time ragweed does, and so they're kind of tied together. Goldenrod being that it's very bright and showy, that's what people typically see first, so that's often what's been equated with the allergies, with those symptoms that we see. But indeed, it actually is not an allergen. So, a purple cone flower, and of course it's very well known. It's probably one of the most widely used plants for all sorts of different ailments, from like bee stings to snake bites to headaches to toothaches. They use it for swollen glands, like when you have mumps and that type of thing. And because of that, actually, a lot of people were harvesting them from the wild, so there was a lot of problems with illegal digging up of the plants.